Hey guys, welcome back to the 411 on Tech. Today we're reviewing the 8BitDo Pro 2 controller. Now, just to give you a quick reminder, we are currently running a giveaway. We finally hit 100 subscribers, so as a thank you to everybody, we're giving away a Echo Show 5. So if you're interested in that, check out our last video on the Google Silicon, so you can get all the rules and everything for that. So look out for that, and without further ado, we'll get into it right after this. So this is the 8BitDo Pro 2 controller. Now this is the successor to the SN30 Pro Plus by 8BitDo. Long name, so they shortened it now as Pro 2. So it comes in at $49.99. Now that's the same price as the SN30 Pro, but you're getting a few more features here that are actually pretty nice. So we'll talk about that, but first let's talk about design. So first off, colors. You can get this in 3 different colors. They have the all black, so it has the black body with the black buttons. So if you're looking for that blacked out version.
Batman style.
Yeah, Batman style, you can get that. Then you have the version that we have. I would call this like a beige, light gray. Basically they're going for the Game Boy style, so you know, you have that color scheme with the, I guess, burgundy. They kind of look like burgundy to me. Would you call that burgundy?
More like purpley.
Purpley burgundy.
Yeah. Yeah,
I could never quite get what that color was, but that's really cool. I like that touch. And they also have a gray version that is kind of mimicking the PlayStation 1 style. So you have the gray with the buttons, the colors of the PlayStation logo. So some really nice styles there. And the overall design is kind of unique. I mean, you have this controller that basically looks like a SNES controller with grips.
Yeah. So
it's unique based on, you know, what other controllers are on the market right now. And I actually kind of like it. I think it's pretty nice. For buttons, so you have, you know, the buttons that you would expect. You have your 2 analog sticks here, and they're actually in the PlayStation controller kind of layout. So they're down here, and then you have your D-pad. Now the D-pad actually has some textured ridges, which is nice. It kind of gives it like a little more grip for you. And then obviously you have your face buttons, so your A, B, X, Y. Now they usually market this as a Nintendo Switch Pro alternative, right?
Replacement substitute.
Right. So the button layout is the Switch layout. So you have your B, A, Y, X. So kind of backwards there. So you have that, and then obviously you have your select and start, and then you have on either side your switch buttons, so the home and the capture buttons. And on the top here you have obviously your shoulder and your analog stick, your triggers, sorry. And all the buttons actually feel really good. They feel very premium. They're not like really like loose like some of the cheaper models are. And there's no, you know, crunchiness or anything like that. They feel really good. Now, a couple of new additions here with this controller is this button up here in the front. It's the profile button. And it also has 3 indicator lights. So the profile button, you can actually create profiles and then set them for this button, and then you can use this to select what profile you want. And we'll get more into profiles in a little bit. So that's a new addition here. And then on the back, you have 2 programmable buttons. So that's actually really nice. And you can program, you know, like the face buttons, you know, your A, B, X, Y to that. So that's nice, so you don't have to take your fingers off the joysticks. Another button that's new, or actually switch rather, is right back here between those 2 programmable buttons. And that is your mode switcher. Now, in the past, with the previous model, you had to do a certain button combination to switch modes. Now you have a nice switcher right here in the back, and you can just switch to whatever mode. And once you get everything paired up, it's really seamless. Like, you know, if you want to play on the Switch for a while, obviously you switch to the Switch mode. If you want to go play on Windows after that, you switch it to Windows, and everything is still paired and ready to go. Now, the one gripe that I do have about this, and it's very, very small. Actually, in this light, and I can see it a lot better, but a lot of times when I was playing it, I guess you call it the little legend that shows you what mode you're in, it was really hard for me to see. So it'd be nice if it was a little more pronounced so I could see it a little bit better. But once you get used to it, and for us, like, we're basically using it for either the Switch mode or Windows mode. Switch is all the way to the left, Windows is all the way to the right. So, you know, you get used to it. So it is 4 modes. So you have the Switch mode, then you have the Apple Mac OS, you have your D input, which is going to be for your Android devices and stuff like that, and then X for Windows. So that's a really nice feature with this remote here. And it also has this nice textured back. I know for me, sometimes when I'm playing, I get kind of sweaty hands, so I'll take any grip I can get. Don't judge me, okay? I know it's gross. So you have that, which again, I really like. And overall comfort, to me, it feels really good in my hands. You know, my hand placement feels very natural, and it's just overall, it just feels really good in my hands. And the build quality actually is really good too. I mean, for $50, still that's a decent price, but I mean, it just feels really good, really sturdy. Again, those buttons feel really, really good. What do you think about the...
Yeah, in my hands it feels good. Like the movement of the sticks and the buttons, everything just feels very premium, nice materials, and nice button actuation, clicking, pressing action.
Yeah.
Yep. So a little bit more into features. This comes with a 1000 milliamp hour rechargeable battery, and that's going to get you 20 hours of gameplay and 4 hours to get a full charge from dead. Now the Nintendo Switch Pro controller gets you 40, so this is only going to get you half. But like, you have the rechargeable batteries in there, so
yeah, so we shouldn't have to swap out batteries.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about swapping out batteries. Now it's like half the time, so it'd be nice to get the 40. But I mean, 20 is average, but you know, we would like to see 40.
Yeah.
Maybe in the future if they get a battery plus pack or something. It connects via Bluetooth 4.0 to your devices, or you can go wired on some devices like. They can do it on PC. You can get, you know, the X input, and you know, if latency is really a requirement for you, you can go wired on some of what this is compatible with. And so it does have motion control. So if you're like playing Mario Kart and you want to control the cart with the motion, you can do that. So that's nice for, you know, motion integration games, especially on a Nintendo Switch. It has Rumble, but it doesn't have the Nintendo AC Rumble. Obviously, that's proprietary to Nintendo. So the Rumble is not as nice, not as nuanced or detailed as the HD Rumble, but it's still pretty good.
Yeah,
still get a pretty good amount of, you know, of Rumble effect, and it's nice wherein you have like the Pro A controller, enhanced controller we have with the Mario colorway that doesn't have Rumble.
And
so
same price.
Yeah, and it's the same price. So when you're playing those games and you're expecting a Rumble feature and it's not there.
Yeah,
so,
you do kind of miss out.
Yeah, you kind of miss out a little bit. I know, like when we're playing like Zelda. Couple things, you know, like Rumble and Mario Kart. There's a lot of Rumble in there, so it does have Rumble for your $49.99. Now there's no NFC reader like every, you know, like the Power 8 controllers, so you're not gonna be able to scan amiibos with this, unfortunately. So there's that. And like Michelle mentioned, it does have 2 programmable buttons on the. Let me say that programmable buttons on the back. So you can, you know, map some of the face buttons to the back, or you can make macros, which we'll get into more later, to map to these buttons in the back. So that's pretty nice. Now there are a couple accessories that you can get for this. There's a carrying case that you can get with this to pair with it. So if you want to use this on the go, so say you're like, you know, got it paired with your phone, you want to play on the go, or some other device that this is compatible with a lot. You have a carrying case for it, so you don't have to worry about throwing this in your backpack, get all scratched up. You have the carrying case. It also has a smartphone clip that you can get with it, so you can have a smartphone attached to this while you're playing, and that looks like it fits pretty nice. And also that smartphone clip can also fit in the carrying case, so you got it all included there.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah. So also, this controller is very customizable. Now there's the 8BitDo Ultimate software that's available. You can get this on PC, that software on PC, Mac, and now you can also get that on Android and iOS. So you don't have to worry about going to the PC, running through the software and changing like the button mappings for like your different like 3 profiles. You can have like a loadout for 3 different games. You can do that on the software on the Android or iOS platform, so you can make your changes, sync it to control, and get right back into gameplay. You don't have to worry about going to a computer to do that.
Yeah, it's super quick. It's really nice to just quickly do it, synchronize, and then you're right back into gameplay.
Yeah.
So to talk more about the customization features, let's talk about and look at the 8BitDo Ultimate software. So one of the first things you can do here is create the profiles like we mentioned before. So you can actually have 3 profiles for the different modes. So you can have 3 profiles for Switch, 3 profiles for Windows, so you're not tied down to just 3 profiles that you have to use between all modes. So that's really nice. And then to access those, you use that button that I showed earlier in the front, the profile button, and that will switch between your 3 modes for whatever platform you're on. So you can have profiles for certain games. You might want to have one of the profiles just as a default where you're not really, you don't have any settings change or anything like that you can always revert back to, and maybe the other 2 you can have for specific games. So that's really nice. And you can have, again, separate profiles for those different modes, so you're not tied down to just 3 profiles for all. Now, once you have your profile selected, one of the first things you can do here is remap your buttons. Now, you can pretty much remap any button on this controller except for the start and select. So a lot of options there. So another thing you can customize is you can adjust the sensitivity of the analog sticks and the triggers. So you can dial in those dead zones so you can get more control with your analog sticks and triggers, which is, again, really nice. Now, triggers, one thing to note, triggers are only available in Windows mode, so you can only adjust the sensitivity for Windows mode. You cannot do that for Switch or any of the other modes. So again, just something to note with that. Another thing you can adjust is the intensity of the vibration motors, and you can customize those separately, the left and the right. And they have, settings 0 to 5, 0 being no vibration, 5 being the most. So you can get a lot of customization with that as well. And then finally, you can set macros, which is really nice. So, if you want to take the easy way out sometimes, some might say.
Yeah.
But I just say it's helpful. So say, for example, if you're playing Street Fighter, you might want to map the button combo to one of the programmable buttons in the back for like a Hadouken or something like that. So definitely really nice that you can even customize macros as well.
Definitely.
So let's talk about performance. This controller actually felt really good in game. Like, I had no issues at all. It was very comfortable and in my hand. So, I feel like you could play for an extended amount of time with no issues there. Motion controllers, they were very precise. For example, in Breath of the Wild, when you're trying to use motion to shoot an arrow, it was very, very precise, which was nice. And the rumble was really good too. Again, it's not on the same level as HD rumble, but it's still nice. For $50, it's nice to actually even have rumble. So, it was still a nice thing to be able to have that in game as well and get a little more immersion. And having like the ability to map the buttons quickly and have those 2 programmable buttons are really nice, so you can more set the controller for your play style. So that was actually really nice in game. I know for me, for Breath of the Wild, I like my jump button to actually be B. So it was nice to switch that, and I felt like I was able to play a little bit better, having it, more tuned to the way I would like it.
Yeah, you play a lot of PlayStation, you used to be in the other way.
Yeah, so it's a little weird. So that's really nice. And another thing is, I didn't notice any input lag on the Switch or on the PC. Now, when you're dealing with Bluetooth, there's always going to be some level of input. It's whether or not you actually notice it. I didn't notice it, so again, you're not really going to experience any
drastic input lag.
Yeah, and again, so for PC, if you want, you can have it wired,
Right.
but then include it USB Type-C. So if you're worried about that, or maybe you might be a little more sensitive than me with the input lag, so you have that option as well.
Alright, so my final thoughts on the 8BitDo Pro 2 controller. So for $49.99, you know, you have a couple there. You have the Nintendo Pro controller. Sometimes it's on sale for, you know, for $49.99.
Yeah, it was
sometimes it's $69.99. So
I actually recently just checked, and it's $59.99.
It's $59.99, so it's $10 more.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, you know, this is a little bit more affordable than that, but this one, you know, you have that software, you can customize a lot of things. That's pretty nice. You can use this for more than just the Switch, which is pretty nice. So, you know, and it has rumble, and you have the macro buttons. So it's not AC rumble, you can't do the amiibos, but I mean, it has a lot of things going for it. It's all the versatility, multiple platforms. You know, I really like that Nintendo, you know, the Power A controller we have with the Mario, but there's no rumble. Mm-hmm. So, you know, and it does have buttons you can map on the back on that one too. But I really like this one. I think it feels just a little bit more premium than the Power A controller that we have. So, you know, with that, I kind of like the looks, the colorways that they have. Like, I wish I could get all three of them.
Yeah.
I mean, I could, but then like we got so many controllers, 8BitDo controllers right here as it is. But yeah, it's really nice. Like the buttons feel nice, the materials feel nice. I like the texture, it grips in the back. You know, it just gives you a little bit nicer feeling in hand. So I'm gonna go. Feel like only thing holding back is no amiibo, so I'm gonna go with a 9.
Okay. All right.
What are your thoughts on that?
So mine are, I mean, I really like this. We have a couple other, I guess you call them third party or whatever you want to call them for the Switch, the Pro A being one of them. And compared to what's available compared to that, some other options, even the Pro controller itself, you know, it's generally $69.99, which is another $20 more. And this, you actually get rumble, which you don't get with the Power A. And just, you know, all around, it's just a really excellent controller. I mean, I think it's my favorite non-official, I guess if you want to say, controller out of any, you know, PlayStation, you know, Xbox, anything. Yeah. I really, really like it, and it has so many customization features. I mean, you can pretty much customize anything on here. So, you know, if you're a person that likes a lot of customization, I definitely would recommend this. The one thing that I would say the Power A has maybe over this is if you're really into themes and like a bunch of different colorways, they have a lot of colorways and they're actually really cool. We have the Mario one, which is really nice. Yeah. And it's not a bad controller, it's a great controller. I wouldn't say it's as good of a quality as this, and obviously it doesn't have the rumble. But I really think this is great. And then if you're familiar with the SN30 Pro Plus and you maybe have that, it does have quite a few features that I would say might be worth the upgrade. I mean, you have the profile switch, so you can easily, you know, go through different profiles and have those mapped. It has the mode switch, so you don't have to, you know, do the button combination to get in the different modes. And those two programmable buttons, they actually do come in handy and they're really nice and they actually feel good too. Sometimes you have those extra buttons on the controllers and they feel not as nice as the other buttons on the controller, but I mean, they feel really good. And again, you know, it's nice that you don't have to always take your finger off the joysticks. And now that you can have the iOS and Android, the ultimate software on iOS and Android, it's super quick to do any kind of customization where you don't have to run to your PC, plug it in, make the changes, and then go back. And I do like that texture back. Again, sometimes my hands get sweaty. Yeah, it's gross, but it, you know, it's super helpful for that. So I give it a 9 as well. And the only reason I didn't give it a 10 is, yeah, it doesn't have the amiibos. Right. And it would be nice if they had some other colorways, maybe. But I mean, other than that, it's a really great controller. So
definitely.
2 9s.
Yeah. Okay, guys, that's our thoughts on the 8BitDo Pro 2 controller. And remember, as always, don't forget to subscribe and like and comment down below. It really helps our channel grow. And don't forget the 100 subscriber giveaway that we have going by commenting on the Google Silicon video that we did. Just leave a comment and we're going to pick a random winner out of that. So we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.